quick review of what we've done for the term. We're just going to start going through, so if you were revising, this is probably a good video to watch later on. For simple interest, the final amount is the initial amount plus the total interest earned over the series of the loan. But the total interest earned over this series of the loan is simply the principal times the interest rate times the n. Remember, with that interest rate, that needs to be in decimal form, not percentage form. Clear? There's all your terms. A growth factor question might come up, and that's simply how much has your initial amount grown over that period of time, and that is the final amount divided by the initial amount. So if you had a growth factor of 2, what have you done with your money? Doubled your money. Well, it's important to understand, it's probably more important than understanding the formulas and the equations with simple interest. I like to just go off understanding what simple interest is and making my own formulas from there. The same interest is charged every year regardless of how much is left on the loan or how much money you've made in your investment. So if I invested or loaned $1,000 at 10% interest per annum, every year I'd be charged $100 interest, or I'd make $100 interest. Happy with that? Simple interest is almost never used in the real world, and if it comes up in an exam, if it doesn't tell you it's simple interest, it has to explicitly tell you it's simple. If it doesn't tell you that, we assume that it's compound. Happy with that?
Which one's the one where we assume it's one growth factor?
No, you don't assume it's growth factor.
No, the real way you assume it.
Oh, that's the AN, that's annuities. We'll get to that. Okay. So, compounding interest, that formula we should all be very familiar with. I've taught you the top formula. The difference between the top and the bottom formula is in the bottom formula, I is always your annual interest rate and N is your number of years. In the top formula, I is your interest rate per term and N is your number of terms. And most of us have been pretty good at using that one. I think that's just a bit kinder on the eyes. In this type of interest, growth is exponential. So your growth, your interest grows over time, and it takes interest off what is in the account at the point in time. Happy with that? So the difference between simple and compounding interest is in our $1,000, 10%. For the simple interest, every year we earn $100. If we had a compounding interest loan, in the first year we'd earn $100. In the second year we'd earn $110. In the third year we'd earn $111, $121, and so on and so forth. Does that make sense? The key thing with compounding interest is the shorter the compounding terms, so if you compound daily versus yearly, the growth will occur more quickly. So it's important to understand that not only does the interest rate matter and the amount that you're putting in, but how frequently it is compounding matters. Cool?
Yes.
Happy with that? And that leads into effective interest rates, which I'm going to do up now.